Hello YouTubers, welcome back to Yorkshireman66 and I am here to entertain you. Right then, so now someone pointed out to me, Game Zone Birdroom pointed out to me that there's been other Titanic films which I already knew about. So I'm going to go through this. I stand by what I said about the Night to Remember film. Night to Remember, the first Titanic disaster movie, and it says it right there, the first Titanic disaster movie, which it is. It's the very first one. It's the very first one what was done, but there is other films before it which I'm going to tell you now. Saved from the Titanic, 1912, Saved from the Titanic, Etna and Dorothy Gibson and Alec B. Francis. Co-written by and starring Titanic survivor Dorothy Gibson and released only 29 days after the sinking. Now a lost film following a studio fire in which the last known prints were destroyed and only a few production stills remain. So that's that one. Then you got this one, 1912. It's foreign. It's whatever. The Obsession, French silent film. So that doesn't count. That one, what Dorothy Gibson and co-written and that did, that would have counted, but it don't, does it? Because it got caught afire. So two films what don't really count. Well, mine Ecke Otto Rippert. There we go. It's in Night and Ice, also called the Titanic, the sinking of the Titanic silent film. Well, that's a silent film, so that don't count. But these films there, yeah. There's 1, 2, 3. Now, if someone told me the fourth film was the best, I don't agree. Because the fourth film on this list is 1929, Atlantic, and it's all foreign. Highly fictionalised account, retitled Titanic Disaster in the Atlantic in America. Home video releases the first sound film made about the disaster and pioneering sound on film release, being produced in 3 languages: English, German, French and silent versions. German version was the first full-length German sound was major. It there filmed aboard the White Star RMS. It filmed on board the White Star RMS Majestic. The title of the film, Atlantic, is also name of the ship in the film, as the White Star liner refused to give the filmmakers permission to use the word Titanic in the film. So there you go. So that's 1929. This is the 5th film, Cavalcade. This drama film was based on Eponymous, played by Noel Coward, 2 fictional main characters and perish in the sinking. So there you go. 1943 Titanic. There. Now this is going to take a little bit to digest. Right, 1943 German Nazi propaganda film. Personally overseen by Joseph Goebbels, casting fictitious German first officer on the Titanic as the hero and the British as a villain. The first film to use singularly the name Titanic and intermix fictional subplots and characters with historical persons on board the ship. Filmed on board the German liner SS Cap. Sorry about that. SS Cap Arcona, mistakenly sunk by the RAF with civilian loss of life, greatly exceeded that of the Titanic. So that's a crap film. 1953. This is what I was directed to. 1953. The American dramatic film centred on a strange couple sailing on the Titanic during its ill-fated maiden voyage, and that's it. Right? That's it. So, that's fictionalised. It doesn't go... Yeah, I still stand by A Night to Remember, because here it comes. 1958, Night to Remember. Roy Ward Baker, Kenneth Moore in it, Ronald Allen, Robert Aries and Honor Blackman. And also, David McCallum's in this. It's a British affair, basically. British docudrama, based on the infamous book by Walter Lord, starring Kenneth Moore as the ship's second officer, Charles Lightoller, regarded as one of the most historical accurate Titanic disaster films, with the notable exception not featuring the ship breaking in half. There was still doubt about the fact that she split in two when book and film were produced. Accepted view at the time, and the result of the inquiries was that she sank intact. It was only confirmed that she split after a wreck was found in 1985. Some effects scenes were borrowed from the 1943 German film. So there you go. That is the first Titanic disaster film. Proper, and it's the most accurate is A Night to Remember. So no one can tell me any different. I've just read it all out there. It's the most accurate. And it says so. Book film were produced, accepted time. The result of the inquiries sank intact. She split. And it says here, Charles Light, regarded as one of the most historical accurate Titanic disaster films. So it is. So A Night to Remember is the proper disaster movie. And I will push this as well. It says it on the cover. It really says it on the cover. It says it there. It says it on this cover. The first Titanic disaster movie. It's in brackets as well. So that's that one. And then you go down to 1964, The Unsinkable, Charles Walters and Debbie Reynolds, American musical. So that one, The Unsinkable Molly Brown, is a musical. So I don't watch musicals, but there is only 8 films. And that is a fact, I can prove that. 1980, Raise the Titanic, which everyone knows and loves. Jerry Jameson. Critics proved to be a box office bomb, failing to recover its 40 million. Yeah, it failed, but it was still a good film. You can still buy it today. I think it. 1992, Titanica, Stephen Lowe. 95-minute IMAX documentary. That's a documentary, so that's not classed as a blockbuster film like Night to Remember is. 97. Now, they haven't put in this. This is Wikipedia, and I don't really trust Wikipedia, but they haven't put in this, the 1996 miniseries. It should be in, but it's not. 97, James Cameron. Kate Winslet, Billy Zane and all that. So we all know who's in it. The American romantic epic disaster film combines fictional and main characters with some portrayals of passengers and crew based on historical figures. The film became one of the most expensive films ever made. It cost him approximately a lot of money, 2 million. No, it's more than that, it's 200 million. More than the Titanic itself topped the list of the highest grossing films for 12 years and won 11 Academy Awards. Released in 2012 formats which included IMAX 3D, Titanic in 3D. That's done after 97, by the way. Released in Dolby and Vision in 2017 for the 20th anniversary in actual footage of the wreck is included in the opening scene, which it is. So you see there, the only two good films. If you want to go into documentaries, fine, but we you know, The Chambermaid, French, Spanish, Italian romantic about Steve Adair who falls in love with one of the Titanic's chambermaids. Like, don't get also original title film. So The Chambermaid on the Titanic. And then you got 90 Legend of the Titanic, animated fantasy about the Titanic. Titanic Legend goes on. Special Italian animated film. Yeah, so it's an Ghost of the Abyss. James Cameron did this. It's Ghost of the Abyss, 3D documentary film released by Disney Pictures and Walden Media, featuring deep sea exploration of the wreck. So, like I say, I've gone through that list, and you know, I stand by to what I said about the Night to Remember. It's the first proper film, and it is. It's the first disaster movie. They won't put it on the box. They won't be allowed to misrepresent it in that way. So it is what it is. So, and then James Cameron came along, and if you look at his film and look at Night to Remember, James Cameron film does echo some of the bits out of that as well. So yeah, it does come across as authentic. Yeah, we know about The Chambermaid in '97. 99, The Legend of the Titanic. We know about Titanic Legend Goes On. We know about The Abyss, In Search of the Titanic, North Korean Italian sequel to the animated series. And then the last one is 2018, Holmes and Watson. Now, I haven't seen this. In the final climax of this comedy film, two detectives prevent a plot to assassinate Queen Victoria by detonating a bomb on board the Titanic. The Titanic was actually conceived and built a decade after Queen Victoria died. So there you go, Holmes and Watson. So that's it. That's what I wanted to clear up. Yes, there is films before and after Titanic, but this is what I wanted to clarify. Gaming Zone Birdroom. Now, he's done the right thing by pointing this out, and I've done this right thing by doing this video and saying, look, yeah, that's true, but the 1953 film can't be taken seriously. I'll tell you that now for definite. In fact, I'll just prove a point to you. I don't know if you see this. Can you see that? 8 films at Titanic. There's only 8 films. So 8 films of the Titanic made. That's not including documentaries, you know what I mean? But Titanic 2 doesn't even come onto it that way. So yeah, I've tried to explain it to Gaming Zone Bird. I tried to explain it, and he just sent me a link to Wikipedia. But that's not the most, how can I put it, most trusted you can get. Even the Historical Film Society recognises A Night to Remember as the first proper disaster Titanic movie. And like I said, they wouldn't have put it on here if it wasn't. And it is. And it's a damn good film. It really is. It's better than in the 1953 film. Because in the 1953 film, it's not shown as factual. This is the first time the Titanic story was released as a factual thing. It really happened. And that's what I did a review on. Now I only did a review on this. But I do stand by what I say. This is the first Titanic disaster movie done properly by the British Film. It's made by Rank Studios. Yeah, I mean, it is a British film, and it's damn bloody good film as well. So I'm not gonna, quibble about it. He did the right thing. Did Games Zone Birdroom. He did the right thing by pointing it out. Well, I've done the right thing by doing this. Yes, there was films before, but the 1953 film is not recognised as a serious film, not like The Night to Remember or James Cameron. So A Night to Remember, it will always be classed as the first Titanic disaster movie. Then David Cameron's will be always known as the ultimate Titanic movie, where we see the back of the ship break, and that's how it went down. Now, they didn't know that in 1958. They didn't even know it in 60s and 70s. They only found out in 1980s, 85, 80, I think it was 86 or 87 when they fully released all the film showing you the boat in two halves. Hence David Cameron's film came about in 97. But before that there were a mini-series done with George W.C. Scott, and that showed in that it's a TV drama, but that showed the first time the back of the ship breaking, completely breaking off, and that was the first one. And then David Cameron's film came out in 97, and it showed that it's a big old backside to show in it, but it snapped off, and that's how the Titanic went down, and that's what they pieced together when they found her in 85. They obviously they filmed it, and she was in two halves. People won't accept it was in 2 hours. They always thought, even in 1958, that she'd gone down intact, which she hadn't. As we know now, she didn't go down full. She went down in 2 hours. It's as simple as that. So I like to thank Game Zone Birdroom for reminding me of the 1953 film. I haven't got that particular film. I have seen it, but like I say, it's based on fictional characters and that. It doesn't properly portray the Titanic disaster, not like this film does. And I recommend this film. I stand by what I say. Even the Historical Film Society stands by this, and they also stand by David Cameron's film as well. And that a job well done. So that's my bit. And I thought, he did right. So I thought I'd do that list. You can find that list on Wikipedia, like I did. It's not to be trusted though, but it is 8 films of the Titanic, I must admit. But there's a lot of Titanic films that aren't being listed, like Titanic 2. Obviously, there ain't 2 Titanics, but list. If you go to Wikipedia, if you go to Wikipedia, Wiki list, you can get the same list as what I've got and read it off for yourself. And I tell you now, I don't lie, I don't bend, I don't misinterpret it, I don't bend the truth. I've read the list myself, so I do know about other films. Like I said, I did try to explain that other films were like documentary based, which they are. Even A Night to Remember comes under docurama film, but because it's properly fact based, going through the journey of what that boat went through, and that was the first film to do that. The 1953 film didn't really do that. It went through the Atlantic, obviously, and it an iceberg and sunk, but it's not exactly tells you the truth. The better film, and I'll tell you this for a fact, is this film, Night to Remember. That is the best film you could ever watch about Titanic, apart from David Cameron's Titanic itself. David Cameron's 1997 Titanic film, but that is the very first fact-based disaster movie on Titanic. It really is. But like I say, go to Wikipedia and get the list up yourself. I've just read it off, and no one can argue about that. But like I say, I don't misinterpret the things, I don't twist it. I'm just saying, I did a review. Somebody asked me to do a review on this film, so I did. Now, I will be doing a review on Titanic 2. Now, I know I'm going to get it in, well, there's no such thing as Titanic 2. Well, all fire, because I'm doing a video on that. And I'll be doing it very soon. I won't be doing it yet, I'll be doing it very soon. So, wait for it, and it will be coming. If you have liked this video, and you've liked what you've heard, please give me a like, thumbs up, and please, 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 please subscribe. Not trying to sell you anything, it's free to subscribe. You can do what you want. Hit the bell, hit all, and everything could be cool. Please, please, please share the video with your friends, family, Twitter, Facebook, whoever you want to do that with. And also, the most important, like what Game Zone Birdroom did, comment below and we'll have a discussion. Now, there you go. So, that's what I've done. I thought it'd make a good video actually. So, I like to thank Game Zone Birdroom for giving me this idea. And I really do thank you. You know, it's delayed a video what I was going to do, but not for much long. So this one will be going up sometime tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I thought you liked it, and like I said, it's my opinion on this. It's only my opinion, you know what I mean? But I did a review because somebody asked me to do the review, so I've done the review. And I stand by that review, I really do. It's a really good film. So I stand by that review. If you haven't seen it, it's in my list. Go watch it, and yeah, you know, see what you think. But if you ever decided to buy this film, you won't be disappointed. It's a very, very well made film, and it's done by the Rank organisation as well. You know, the great big man, you know what I mean. So there you go. So it's done by them. It's a very good film, and it stands the test of time as well. It's aged very well actually for this. This is the re-digitised version, but there you go. So I'll catch you all, and I'll catch you on the next video if you like that. Thank you very much. So please, please like, subscribe, share, and comment below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.